Our current stunning and brave, duly elected, most popular president ever might have delivered the coup de grace to the republic, but the first shots were fired by useful idiot vaginuts in sheep's clothing peddling lies and propaganda before our former Kenyan-in-chief made it legal. Take a stand against the tyranny and get yourself a copy of Surviving Fourth Wave Feminism today. A link is in the description.
What's going on, you lazy, limp-wristed roosters? Terrence Popp here, Redonkulas.com. Good Pop showed up today, allegedly, and I have some good advice for you. In today's day and age, on this ball of mud slinging through space, young men everywhere are not learning this lesson. In fact, dare I say, the ladies, you need to learn this too. But you other 31 fake flavors on the spectrum, well, y'all can F off. Oh, Space Ghost just came on. Gender is not on a spectrum. You are, if you know what I mean.
How dare you?
Speaking of which, I got a little bit of rumbly in my tumbly, and I'm kind of hungry. Can anyone else out there go for a double cheese with some Asperger's? Screen 5. All right. I know I'm going to hell for that last joke, but I just couldn't resist because it was so funny. But when it's my turn to take my walk through, I'm going to know how to take the L. Life, it's full of conflict, and you most certainly are not going to win them all. Sometimes you miss the mark by a quintia hair. Other times, well, have you ever seen Rocky IV? But unlike a boxing match, you can't throw in the towel and there is no 1 minute break between rounds. So it is in your best interest when you get trounced and you lose, you take it with some dignity. And when you do lose, take away a lesson from it, because if you can do that, it's not a total loss. If you learn those lessons, you can lose every battle and still win that war. I made a whole video about that. It's called The Long Game. Links in the description. But before we begin, it's about time you guys join me in the menagerie because I hate drinking alone. And get ready for all the important life lessons your father should have taught you. Oh, he wasn't there? That's why I'm here. Yeah. Number one, and I've already said this, you are not going to win them all. Sometimes you take the wrong step, you're a fraction of a second behind, or you're just simply unlucky and Murphy showed up and put it in your ass. Experience and perseverance cannot be overestimated enough in your life. There are very few Mozarts who just meander in, sit down, and blow it out of the water. Even the funniest comedians you can imagine have been booed off stage more times than they can count. But they have the champion mindset. They learn how to take the L, repackage their shit, and get back out there. And after you lost a few and you pull it off and finally get that win, it's unimaginable. Well, you could go to Twitter, Facebook, and what have you, and whine and complain about being the victim and it wasn't fair, but you're not gonna do that, are you? Anyone can do that, but you need to be exceptional. Number two, to become exceptional, you have to realize you're just a mortal man. You have a finite amount of time on this earth, and that is why you need to make the best of it. I'm not telling you need to be perfect. I am simply saying you need to show up for the game. I would rather be the guy who showed up and lost than that coward in the stands throwing a hot dog in his pie hole. But if your goal in life is to sit back and watch it go by and just get fatter, in fact, I can hear you getting fatter from here. You do you. I'm certainly not going to tell you you're wrong, but maybe I will.
But Pop, the only way not to lose is just don't play.
Well, you're only correct if it applies to marriage. Bottom line, as a mortal man, no one's giving you shit. You need to go out there, swing for the fences, and get it yourself. And if it's too hard for you, wah, more for me. And number 3, and this one is crucial when taking the L. Do yourself a favor and check your ego at the door, because if you don't, people can use it against you. And you want to know the first person who's going to use it against you? You see him every day when you shave your goddamn face. The first thing that the foolish mortals of this world will do when they lose is,
Oh yeah, that's a bad call. It's not my fault. He cheated.
shut up! Your ego, it's like the replicator on the Enterprise, but all it makes are excuses. Excuses, well, they taste like shit and they have a maximum range of 0 meters. When you can check your ego at the door in any situation, you become a better person. And if you're one of those foolish bastards out there who's still dating and looking for the one, it helps with that as well. Because women, they're instinctively programmed to tell the difference between cockiness and confidence. The cocky dude, he'll talk all day about stuff he's gonna do, but in reality, he doesn't have the balls to do shit. And that's why he spent 50 years in our government before becoming the first appointed president. Screen 5. But the confident dude, he's already done it. He doesn't need to blow smoke up his ass or anyone else's. Actions, they speak way louder than words. Remember that. Number 4. When you take the L, you need to accept the fact that 90% of the time, it's because of you and no one else. The young people of today have refused to learn this. That's why they're burning, looting, and murdering people. Take it from me, ladies and germs. The only one standing between you and your goals and what you want is you. So when you blame people who are completely uninvolved in that whole crazy process, how does that help? Oh, I understand. It makes you feel better. So you have someone to blame for your failures. Shut up! Having a scapegoat for all your fails? Well, it does not make you a winner. Even when the global puppeteers write it on index cards for you. Screen 5. How about this? Instead of blaming everyone else for shit that's your fault, you do this. Number 5, study that loss. Dwell on it until you have learned why. And I did say dwell. I did not say sulk. A pussy does that. Don't be a pussy. You need to discover what tools you don't have or they used against you so you can plan how to get those tools and put them into your library. And that does not mean taking a trip to ACO, the hardware store. All the tools you need are here and here. I know we've already made a Rocky reference in this video, but what the hell? Let's talk about Rocky 3. If you remember the first time he stepped into the ring with Clever Lang, he got beat down bad. But instead of sulking, he dwelled. He found out what he didn't have, and he built it, came back, and won. Once upon a time back in my day when I was fighting, I took a shot from a 300-pound dude so hard in the face, my head touched behind my shoulder blades. I don't remember the rest of that round at all. And to be completely honest, I shouldn't have been fighting that guy in the first place. I weighed 178. He was like 280 to 310. But I didn't whine and cry about weight privilege. Wah. I still got in that ring. I took my licks, pulled it off, and won that fight. Now, you could call that an unfair fight, and I would agree with you. But virtually almost all the fights you're going to face in life, they will not be fair. And if you run away and hide from them all, the only thing you're turning out to be is a big fat loser. Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm reading this book, And it quite possibly is the best book ever written because I'm in it! Winning! If you want to know the rate of return on dating women, you need to buy the Book of Numbers. There's a link in the description, down there in the penis area. Meet Gazer! And this one leads into number 6. Follow along with me here. Sometimes when you lose, it's not because you didn't have the tools, you just didn't use them correctly. And when that happens, instead of blaming the other guy, remember, 3 fingers are pointing back at you, and ask yourself, why? Back in my fighting days, I was a prime example of this because I fought like an idiot. I was notorious for just walking in. I would easily take 2 or 3 shots to land one of my own. That is not a good equation for victory. Now, I don't know, I think I watched too many Rocky movies and thought it was totally okay to block punches with my face. But even though I could take the punishment, it still wasn't an excuse. I knew how to jab. I was pretty goddamn good at it. I just didn't use it. And because I didn't use that tool in my arsenal, I took a 300-pound haymaker right to the face. And overall, I would have taken way less punishment in my career if I simply used the jab more. Even though I never was knocked unconscious and did the horizontal canvas dance in my career, I did lose one fight to the world champion because my face was too cut up to continue. That didn't pay off. But that L taught me a valuable lesson that I'm going to teach you today. And this ties into the point of number 6. Never, under any circumstance, underestimate your opponent, ever. Because when you do, you have the tools in your arsenal, but you probably won't use them because they aren't necessary and he's a blow-off opponent. When I lost to the world champion, he was 10 years older than me, and I was like, that old man, I'm gonna whip his old ass. This is already in the bag. Why was I wrong?
Stupid! You're so stupid!
You need to approach every fight and challenge in your life like it's a battle for the world championship. Because if you don't, you're going to take way more L's than are necessary, and it's all your fault. And why? Lucky number 7. No matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody out there who's better. I know I'm dating myself here, but is there anyone out there who remembers the Mike Tyson-Buster Douglas fight? That dude was completely outclassed by Tyson. The Vegas odds were like 125 to 1. Guess who walked away with the belt that night, and guess who did the horizontal canvas dance? Now, any other day, Buster Douglas probably would have lost that fight. And he almost did.
Against the ropes, I've never seen. And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas.
He pledged to his mother he would win that fight, and shortly thereafter, his mother died.
Well, Buster Douglas definitely is inspired because of the tragedy, the passing of his mother.
Now, I don't know about you, but something like that will light a fire of superhuman resolve under your ass. It is amazing what humans can accomplish with just a hint of superhuman resolve. So when you step into the ring against any opponent, no matter what it is, it could simply be their day. And that right there gives you something to think about as we transition to number 8. When you lose, don't flip the F out. It's going to cloud your resolve. Resolve helped someone else win that fight, but lack of it, well, you'll just lose the next one. And this is not about physical confrontations. It's just easy for me to make references in that perspective. This could be a fight for promotion. It could be an election. It could be getting your license to be a lawyer. It could be winning a case in court. It can literally be anything where conflict exists. Your dating life would probably improve if you accurately assess the situation of what's going on or what happened before you move on. Bottom line, most don't do this, and they just carry those mistakes forward again and again and again in nauseam. When I was young and a free-range fornicator, was it fun to slam some new ass on a regular basis? Yeah. Was it risky? Yeah. What can I say? Was it mentally healthy every time I did it? Probably not. But That's the easy way out, and that's why you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. In fact, that's life when you're stupid. I made a whole video about that, links in the description. And just so you know, ladies and germs, you're not difficult to spot. All the people out there say, all men are the same and all women are crazy bitches. Well, there you go. Spoiler alert here, and I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but so what, comma, I don't care. All men are not like that, and all women are not crazy bitches. The ones you load into the basket for the swinging, spinning fortifications, you chose that because you like it. If it's not working out for you, guess where the problem is? It's you. Now, I know there's some dudes out there who are pissed off because they took the L on that one, but, you know, I don't care. Your excuses are nothing to me. Most people, they bet everything on these excuses, and then they wonder why they're not happy. Instead of wah, crybaby, give me money, do number 9. When you lose, study the tactics that were used against you. Every move has a counter move, so figure out what those are and hit back. And this is real life, ladies and gentlemen. You're doing true adulting. So sometimes, you gotta fight goddamn dirty. There is no ref that tell you when it's over. You're not getting a red, yellow, or green card. They're not ringing a bell. There is no trophies. It's just you. Is it easier or harder to learn these things? Well, of course it's harder. But, do you want to win? Or keep taking the L and crying your ass home and, you know, win. And number 10, any new tactics or tools that you do learn, you gotta practice them so you can use them effectively. Just knowing them isn't enough. You need to commit those to muscle memory. Yeah, you know those dudes who can throw 3 or 4 weapons in a garbage bag and then assemble them all by touch only? Like me? That takes practice. You're not gonna do that right the first time, second time, or perhaps even the 20th. But once you do, you become unstoppable. Learning to take the L gives you appreciation for success. And one of the best feelings on this planet is the ability to go to the next level and surprise yourself. And the only way to do that is to step outside your comfort zone. Now you gotta ask this question, and it's very important. What is keeping you in your comfort zone? Excuses, complacency, and being a slave to other people's expectations. When you allow other people to tear you down or keep you in your place, you're culpable in that. How can you possibly blame someone else when it's you sitting there going, okay, I guess you're right, I can wait. Wah. When somebody tries to do that to you, I don't care if they're a friend, family, or foe, you just go, oh yeah, well, you know what, my answer to that is a big off, and you leave. And after that, you move on to 11, which is building a plan to re-engage. Mistakes only become failures when you refuse to correct them. So, when you take the L, get the hell back on your feet, find out what went wrong, make a strategy, and correct it. And on top of that, number 12, use that L to fuel your drive. When I got divorced, and I lost my kid, she killed my dog, and I was living out of my car, I was in a bad place for a long time. Instead of analyzing what went wrong, I was sulking. But after a while, I came to realize that hatred and anger are way better than despair. So I used those two emotions to shovel coal into the boiler to keep everything moving forward. And that's when I came up with my favorite Redonkulas acronym, CHILL. And this applies to any situation in your life. Calm, higher intelligence, latitude, laughter. And the third L, and this is not the one you're usually taking. Anyone who would relish in seeing you lose, live on out of spite. Use any loss that you take to fuel your drive. With enough drive, you can build anything. You can find the tools. You can fortify your life against anything. And because you did it, you succeeded, you came back against the longest odds and won. You accomplished that, so therefore no one can take it away from you. Women, especially in the West, need to learn this. If you've ever been sitting at the dining room table and look across and go, I'm not happy. Well, guess what? You're the problem. If you always rely on someone else to make you happy, guess who's never going to be happy? But when you take the L, create the drive to move forward and find your happiness, no one can take that away from you. Speaking of which, we're now at the end, which is lucky number 13. Not every fight or conflict is worth fighting. So in those situations, it's not taking the L to simply go, you know what? I'm fucking done. Walk away. Hypothetically, let's just say, you won all of the battles eventually that you cared about, and now you have an inner peace and tranquility. Somebody comes along, which they always do, and they're like,
You know, that's not right, and I think I'm gonna with it. You shouldn't have that because you're privileged and you didn't deserve it.
does that sound familiar? I'm just asking for a friend.
You say yes!
If they are successful at fucking up your feng shui and taking away your inner peace, that's on you. There's always going to be some schleprock who comes along and wants to drag you down to their level. Don't let that happen. Because they're here and you are here. You've already learned the lessons to get you from here to here. So why would you backtrack to this person's three-ring circus of lunacy? All you're going to do is waste your time, and that's the only thing here on Earth that you do not get more of. That and your eggs, that's why you're freezing them. Winning? No.
Let's pretend that's not true.
Yeah.
So there you have it, dudes. 13 ways to take the L and turn it into a win. I hope you like this video, and if you do, go to redonkulas.com/donate. If you want to support us, the best way to do so is sign up for Subscribestar. Because Patreon is deleting people's pledges without their knowledge. That's a big fat party foul. It's kind of like YouTube deleting subscribers and calling them bots. Yeah, right. It's almost like these mainline tech companies don't like me, but that can't be it. But not going anywhere, Susan, so you're probably just going to have to take the L. Oh, look, Space Ghost just came on. From the Oregon National Guard, and he was a narcoleptic. But the thing is he would go to sleep, but he became like a robot. Oh. So we would pile all this shit on him, and he'd be like, and we had a rope tied around his waist. We'd pulling him up.
So he wasn't narcoleptic. He was a sleepwalker.
No, he
did both?
Yeah. Because he was telling stories about how he would never buy new cars. Because he would wake up driving through apple orchards. He did it like 3 times.